Welcome back, pod people, to a brand new episode of Cinema d'Amore. I'm your host, Justin Morgan, and I'm here with
Chuck.
Yep, Chuck Phillips. He's here. It's always us. It's just the two of us. And this is Cinema d'Amore, and we are talking about Decision to Leave by Park Chan-wook. Can you guess why I picked this movie? We always connect to them. So can you figure out how I connected this to The City of Violence?
I mean, is it because they work together, directors?
Sure, but no, I just picked a movie that was South Korean. That was pretty much it. It was one of the movies that I've enjoyed and wanted to jump back into. And I think you said that when did you just first watch this now?
Yeah, this was the first time watching it.
Okay, I'm just gonna say I think I got this for you for like Christmas or something like 2 years ago. But now I
think you gave it to me for my birthday.
Your birthday. Now I forced you into watching it.
Yeah.
What were you expecting going into this movie?
I mean, I'll say I wasn't expecting anything because I think this I don't know. This was like I didn't know anything about this movie. Like I remembered, I knew he made it and it came out, but like I did not know anything about the plot of it. Other than like I knew it was like a mystery, so I didn't have any clue at all what the plot was going into it.
And you've seen, I believe, almost all of his other films.
All of his other big ones. There's like that one that's the one that's like I'm a cyborg, but it's okay or something. Like I've never seen that. Like I've seen his Vengeance movies and Thirst.
JSA, is that him too?
That was his like first or second one, yeah. And what was his American one? Stoker. Seen that?
You know what? I haven't watched that, and I haven't seen it. I'm like afraid to, I guess. I just don't trust the American-made films by they're great directors, but there's a lot of things that seem
you gotta have trust. Bong Joon-ho. He's done multiple films with American casts, and
he's probably pulling off better than the rest of them. Yeah, easily I would say he's done very well with his American cast somehow. But he also loves American movies and stuff, so maybe he's picking up on other things some of the other directors aren't. I think we talked about it. Well, we talked about it. I don't know if we talked about it on the podcast, but the Squid Game and the American actors that they have in Squid Game, and it's just so weird that they had them speaking English, dubbed over them, they almost have zero personality. It's weird. Or everything seems very believable, and then you get the American president, and you're like, what? And who is this actor? They're terrible. And it's like, I don't think they can tell they're terrible. They can't pick up on the nuances very well. That's my assumption. But we discussed Handmaiden not too long ago. Maybe even last year. And
I think it was last year.
I think that's maybe one of my favorite movies of his. Maybe period. I don't know. I do enjoy this movie, but it is very different. It's very different from his other movies. It seems more restrained. Like
I restrained is like the exact opposite of what I would have said. It's so crazy. His editing and like it's all over the place. I enjoy it, but I wouldn't use the word restrained at all. Like there's such crazy choices. Like the way he films people having conversations on the phone. And the woman has the phone up to her head, and the guy's just in the room with her, but he's not actually in the room. He's on the phone, but they shoot the scene so that instead of just having his voice be over the phone, he's literally just standing in the room with her like that. And the transitions that he uses in this movie are all
and the audio in that scene too.
Absolutely crazy.
The audio of her who were in her room, she has like a phone voice, and he sounds completely normal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I know what you mean. I think when you mean like restrained, it's like the least like there's not any super crazy gory kills like in the Vengeance movies. There's not like a ton of action. at all. It's very much like drama, but like I feel like he makes up for it by like the choices of the cinematography and the editing are insane in this movie, and but I enjoyed them all. One of the earliest things in the movie I love is so they're investigating a guy that is on the bottom of a mountain. He fell off, and they're trying to figure out what's going on. And I love when it just immediately cuts to like, well, we're gonna have to see what's at the top of the crime scene. And instead of just cutting to them being at the top of the mountain, it's just this cut of the one guy climbing and the other guy's just strapped to his back.
Yeah,
It's such a comically funny, and they're like, "Why on earth are we doing this? I thought we were gonna go the other way around." And he's like, "No, we have to take the direct path."
we're detectives. We have to see the path he took or something like
Yeah,
that.
we have to like retrace his steps or something, and it's so funny and it's so ridiculous.
Yeah, this movie was up for like a was it not nominated? No, it didn't get nominated. It was weird to me because I thought maybe it did very well at Cannes or something, but it never got nominated for an Academy Award. And I feel like everybody was like, "What the hell are you talking about?" Like this is one of the better movies that we've seen this year, and you thought that it would, be there for sure. But yeah, this I mean, I guess I would say that this movie probably mirrors more like or well, I wouldn't even say well, I guess it does mirror. I'm thinking of Vertigo. It's obviously like his love letter to Hitchcock, but it's still his very much his style. It definitely has like the same type of shots in Vertigo where he'll become like obsessed, where he's like obsessed with her hair, and I feel like that's mostly what the camera work is in this too. But then he kind of like I don't know the way he tells the story. I think is interesting because the first half is like that case that you were talking about in the beginning of the guy falling off the mountain, and then the case like wraps up at the halfway point, and you get a little bit of a time jump, and then there's like this like lingering question of I mean, did I let the killer off? But I very much feel like we all know that this person probably did kill the guy. Like, how did you feel? Did you think that?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, the whole movie is, uh, I guess you'd say like the movie is a mirror or it's a big circle because everything that happens in the first half pretty much happens in the second half, except things are yeah, they're almost opposites of how everything goes in the first half. The first half, they're investigating this woman, and at first, he seems to be the only person that's like, "Oh, she didn't do it. She wouldn't do something like that." And his partner's constantly like, "You got to investigate her. Like, she definitely killed this person." And in the second half, he's the opposite. He's like, "I know for a fact she killed this guy." And his new partner in this like rural town's like, "Why are you so obsessed? Like, just get off of it already. We solved the case. That other guy admitted to it." And it's like everything mirrors itself perfectly from the first half to the second half, and it's driving him insane that he did everything in the first half of the movie that resulted in him failing this case, and then in the second half he's trying so desperately to like correct it or make up for the fact that he failed at that first case, but everyone around him is telling him the exact opposite. They're like, "No, you're crazy. Stop obsessing over this."
Yeah, it's like i- when he's investigating and they investigate the spouse, he falls for the spouse, and she doesn't necessarily seem to be like overtly trying to seduce him in at least the beginning of the movie. And but yeah, it gets brought up in the plot as his partner keeps bringing up. He has great partners in the first half and the second half. Like they're both completely different, but excellent in their own ways. The first partner is like way over the top. I mean, there's that scene where he gets like fucking stabbed by the guy, and they have a foot chase that is great where it's like a very realistic foot chase where they're running up a hill, so they're tired as shit and they're not moving that fast. But going to what you were saying about the first half mirroring the second half, obviously there was very much a mirror motif. Like there were so many shots that were just in reflections, or that really cool shot I thought when they're doing the interrogation. Well, his interrogations were really just like a dates. That's like how they were shot. But where you saw the reflectiveness of the two-way mirror, is that what it would be? Two-way mirror? And they would focus, like, the focus would change where if it was focusing on one person in the foreground, it would focus on the opposite person in the background, and they would keep pulling focus. I think it was a computer effect, but it still is pretty cool. I mean, there's a lot of shots where they clearly erase the camera.
Yeah, yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, there's other like opposites too of like the in the first half he buys them sushi for lunch, and then in the second half that guy brings in their lunch and opens it up and it's just a corn dog. It's like it's just like such opposites. Like, oh, I thought we had a better relationship than that.
Yeah, even that his first partner that's like, "God damn it, we can afford that? That's the nice,
Yeah.
expensive sushi place."
Yeah. After you heard him say like when they're on like a stakeout or something, he's like, I'm gonna go get food. And the guy's like, okay, well nothing expensive.
I do wonder too, like, how did you interpret we saw a lot of shots that were clearly through the eyes of the dead or the deceased. Like, that was you kinda had, like, a blurry image that was supposed to be through the eyes of the dead. But then, like, towards the end, he keeps doing his eye drops a lot, and they keep showing his vision, like, teary-eyed vision that's, like, exactly the same as the dead people, so
I mean, he's dying on the inside.
yeah, it
He
could very
can't
well that.
he has insomnia. That's it. That's another that's just the whole thing of the movie is insomnia. I do love the the doctor that when he moves to the rural town and that doctor tries to give him some stuff and he's like, sunbathe for 30 minutes in the morning. And his wife's like, this is the foggiest town in Japan. Like, there's no sun ever. Like, how long have you been a doctor here? And he's like,
Korea.
yeah, yeah, Korea. Yeah, sorry.
No, it's
And he's like,
okay.
how long have you been a doctor here? And then he's like, I meant do a foot soak in the evening before you go to sleep. Yeah, that'll be the right diagnosis.
Yeah, that whole, like, like, I don't know how they keep bringing it up, but, like, you watch the wife fall out of love with him from beginning to end, and she's all about, like, "We gotta make this work, we gotta make this relationship work. I know how much you like your violent crime scenes," and then, like you said, the mirror in the second half is like, "Oh, lucky you, it's a murder scene, I bet you're fucking excited about that. The first murder in this rural town." But yeah, like, even I don't know, like, some of the detective work in it, I think, is maybe meant to be serious, but kinda funny, like, when he
I mean,
like, he
some of it's just dumb luck.
well, when he figures out like, where she swapped phones with the woman that she's
Yeah.
taking care of.
I love that scene where he's just like, yeah, he's like, Granny, you have too many apps open on your phone, and he's like swiping through them all. And there's just a step app and it has zeros for every day, and then randomly has like 138 steps, and it's like,
It's like flights of
did you
stairs
go
or
anywhere
something,
that
yeah.
day? Yeah, did you go somewhere that day? And she's like, I what are you talking about? I can't leave this bed. I can't go anywhere. And he's like, oh well, that's interesting. And then, yeah, just realizes, like, how because 'cause they're like, "She has an airtight alibi, Granny said she was there all day," and, like, he finds out how easy it is. He's like, "What if I told you that she was here today?" And she's like, "Then I'd say it's Monday." It's like, there you go, like, the alibi is useless.
Yeah, and then he does, like, his whole, like, "Could she have pulled it off?" thing, and he's, like, walking in her footsteps. And when he gets up there and he's, like, all fucking exhausted and he looks at his flights and it's, like, exactly
But
it's exactly 138, like, he's like, "Son of
yeah,
a bitch."
and it's great too because he's following along the guy that's the husband that dies in the beginning does like travel videos on YouTube where he does this rock climbing and he did a video that same day. So he's like he's listening to the guy like narrating doing the rock climbing. He's like, "Oh, this is a real tough part," and then you see him like really struggling to get up the mountain.
Oh yeah, well when he's
It's
even
like
like the back path, that's like it's easier. And
yeah,
there's also that like line where like he touched the wife's hands and they're rough. And it was just like I forget how she describes it as like something from when she was in China, like just working hard or not moistening the hands. And our detective's all about moisture and and good skincare and stuff. And then he has that revelation that he's like, holy shit, it's like she was rock climbing. That's why her hands were rough and callous. But yeah, I mean, I think that does a good job of trying to make scenes seem very intimate that are just conversations, or like that scene where she gets away with murder more or less, and our main character, the detective, goes and lives at this like what was it called? Like it's like a coastal town, like a fishing town or something like
yeah.
that.
Because
And
his wife works there at the nuclear power plant.
of course, yeah, she's Homer Simpson of
Just such a specific thing. Like, yeah, she works at the nuclear power plant.
and we get a little snippet of where this girl, I don't know how much time's passed. I don't know if it's
I
like
think it's at 13 months.
year, yeah. And she's like already married to this other guy, and we get a little bit of, there's this person that's like a gang member that wants to more or less kill her husband, and his name's Slappy because he explains that he slaps. Yeah, he can get more hits in without killing the people with slaps. It's more fun. But yeah, she's very specific because she knows where this guy moved, and she's like, the way she says it is that she's more or less fallen for our main character, but it also seems like she's like, I can kill this guy, and this detective's gonna have my back. He likes me. I'm gonna get away with murder again. And there's that scene whenever they go out there and they bump into each other in the fish market, and it's actually like that's like the great scenes of like the intimacy, I think, where it's just like little gestures, and it's almost like their spouses aren't in the picture. And I feel like in that moment, it makes it seem like because you're not seeing the face of his wife or anything like that, that like maybe it's his version of how he's feeling and not necessarily like 100% how it's actually happening. But you do get that thing later where like when she finds out that this guy died, and she's like, God damn it, like I know you have a thing for that woman and you probably killed this guy too. It's like I clear as day saw what was going on. I'm not fucking stupid. But yeah, I thought that was a great scene.
She leaves him and takes the turtle with her.
Yeah.
Such a random. I love the that's another added. Yeah, there's so many great. It feels like that scene almost is like the mirror to the guy that like falls off the roof or something. Like there's just a random chase scene, but this time it's chasing down these guys on a motorcycle with a ton of turtles. And then when they crash and the turtles are just going everywhere, and I love they even get the two criminals on the bike are like laying there in pain after they crashed, and the guy like hands him a bag and he's like, "You got to start scooping up these turtles. They're expensive. They're
Yeah,
gonna get away."
he's like kicking the turtles and stuff, and that one like bites his finger real bad. But it's also funny too because it's like while he's working in this new environment and he's not in the big city anymore, Ipo or something is what they called this smaller place. And it's like one of the very first things you see, it's him and his partner, and they go to like some like I would say it's a farm because they're growing turtles or raising turtles or something. But yeah, the woman's like, they stole all these soft shell turtles. And he's like, they probably stole like $3,000 worth. And the guy's like, $3,000 worth of turtles? Like, why are these turtles so expensive? And it is funny too, because it ties into his one of the things that like his wife tells him is like
Well,
soft shell.
middle-aged men need them for vitality.
or like yeah, so they don't have like depression and exactly the vitality and and yeah, he comes home with it like one of the one of these dead turtles. What else did he when she left, what else did she have? She had the turtle and something else that was very significant, but I'm having a hard time remembering what the hell that
I can't.
was.
Yeah, I just keep thinking of the turtle.
I'm the turtle. I mean,
It's
it is a
the
great
funny
shot
part.
because it's like it's so chaotic. There's like hundreds of turtles all over the ground, and they're trying to scoop him up, and he's violently getting bit on the finger by a turtle. And then it's cuts to him coming home, and he just has one turtle in a bag, like, "Hey, I couldn't help myself, why not?"
Got one of those turtles.
I guess, like, the weirdest thing probably or the most over the top dramatic thing is probably the end of this movie. It's actually the thing that stuck with me probably the most when I was thinking about this movie, when I suggested it.
It has a great end. I think that I don't even know if it's like the only part that I feel like I don't know if it just didn't make sense. I don't know if it was because of like translating
Yeah.
because they throughout the movie the woman's Chinese and she says multiple times like my Chinese is bad. Like
Yeah.
I don't, or my Korean's bad. I don't speak good Korean, and she uses her phone app a lot. That's like a key point is that they have to keep translating her things from Korean to Chinese, and like she doesn't understand words sometimes because she tells him at the end, she's like, "Well, I fell in love with you," like that. She says that's the recording that she had that the husband was going to send to his wife, and that's why she had to have him killed to so that he didn't like ruin his marriage or something like that. And she says, "It's because you told me you loved me." And the guy's like, "I don't remember that at all. Like, what are you talking about?" And they replay that scene multiple times and they really focus on the part where he says, "You need to throw that phone away that has the evidence on it." And I can't tell, was it just like, did she just take that as him being like he didn't say it, but he must love me because he's telling me, like, he's basically letting me get away with murder. Like, he's not gonna arrest me. Or I couldn't tell if it was supposed to be something you'd only pick up if you speak Korean and Chinese, that like she misinterprets those words of like throw the phone away for a phrase meaning I love you, and I couldn't figure that out. And I genuinely, I was like, you could take it either way, and it works for how the movie wants to present it.
Yeah.
But I couldn't figure out if that's how it's supposed to be taken. Is it supposed to be that she misinterprets because she doesn't speak Korean well enough, or is it that or that she just misinterprets it because she takes that as him saying, basically like, "Oh, I love you," like, because I'll let you get away with murder.
I guess either work.
It's
I
either works, but I can't tell. I almost want to know, like, but what was his intention? Which way was he trying to get that to work?
I mean, my initial thought was not that she misinterpreted what he said, but the fact that he was like, "Destroy this evidence," was him more or less saying, "I love you." But the actual interpretation makes sense, but I feel like he makes a comment to her about how good her Korean is. So I've wondered if she's playing dumb with him because she's obviously clearly a very smart person and she's been in Korea for it sounds like a decade, if not more. It doesn't sound like she doesn't understand Korean or can't speak, I think she would understand it. I think that she would know what he said. He seems to be the one that misinterprets more, or at least she makes it sound like he did, like misinterprets her Chinese. Because when he's translate, because she, for some reason, I don't know why the hell, she wants to have like a journal in Chinese about, I don't know what she's, whatever the hell she's doing. And when he gets those recordings, he interprets them. And the one when she's talking to like the cat or whatever, she's saying something about wanting his head. And she tells him, like, when they're talking towards the end, like on the cliffside, where they'll almost make you think that she's going to push him off. But as you said, it's like an alternate reality where like she doesn't push the person off the cliffside this time. But she says, "I didn't say your head, I said your heart." And just the way that she says that, I don't know if I believe her. I don't
You
know if
can't,
she's like,
she's hard to believe at all. I mean, everything she says, even when she tells him that the mother she says her mother wanted to die when she says she, like, gave her fentanyl,
mhm,
and she says the same thing about, Slappy's mother that she killed with the rest of them. She said she had 4 left, but both of those things are just her word that it's like, "She said she was happy that I did it," and it's like, well, but you don't have any other person's statement to say that those are true or not. Like, she could have been lying on both counts that she killed both of the mother and the other mother, and just because she knew it would work out for her.
yeah, and like he's attracted to her. I would assume it's because he finds her like pretty, but she doesn't seem like, like if this is something like Vertigo, then it's noir in its DNA, and she would more or less, well, she's the femme fatale for sure. But I think like classic film noir, when you have the femme fatales, they're always trying to seduce these detectives, and it doesn't seem like she's going out of her way to do that. At least in the first half, that's like there's like a clear divide. And she does say at the end, which again, you can't trust a word she says. She says that she basically had no interest in him until he stopped being interested in her. I think that's like
Yeah.
how she phrased it. And then yeah, they probably would have been good together. But yeah, she kept being like, "Why can't I find a nice guy like you?" And he's like, "Bitch, you ruined my my perfect track record of all my detective work." So like the very, very ending, whenever we find out that they have a tracking device on her phone. It was put on her phone, and she more or less, like, their last conversation together was like, "I loved you, you don't love me," and, she takes off, and he's continuously listening to this clip of when he supposedly said that he loved her. And like you said, it's about the phone, and it's about throwing the phone into the ocean where it can never be found by anybody. It'll be lost forever. And she's crazy, basically decides to kind of do that to herself. So like I'm interested in like how you interpret that suicide, I guess. Is she like punishing Do you think she's punishing herself, or you think she's trying to punish him by disappearing?
I don't know. Yeah, I think it's more. I think at that point she knows that she's become just as obsessed as he is, and that it's probably not going to end well for either of them if they like. Why it's almost like one of them has to go because he's the one obsessed in the first half. She becomes obsessed with him in the second half, and obviously follows him to this new town, and it's just led to her killing more people. That seemingly, I guess, like she might not have killed those people had she not gotten more involved in this, and then felt like she had to do it. And yeah, I think it's just the thought of like if they keep going on anymore, it's just going to lead to more death.
Yeah, or like his integrity will go away. Like she'll kill again, and he'll have to like more or less be an accomplice.
Yeah, he'll keep getting more and more involved in her murders.
But yeah, like as he's trying to track her down, and he goes to this beach, and like you said, the editing is like he's right on her trail, but he makes a few wrong choices, and she buries herself in the sand on a beach as high tide's coming in. Her timing is impeccable. Like she really had the best timing to do this. And
And she's playing this out.
yeah, and very dramatic in like film sense. Like he just misses her, and it kind of does have that level of Hitchcock where like he is when he's like literally standing on top of her, but doesn't know it, and he's just like, where did you go? Like where the hell have you went? And clearly, it seems like there's kind of like a weird, well, for me at least, it was like a weird satisfaction. I think that each character is getting because she's getting. I mean, though she's dead, she's getting him obsessed with her in kind of a different way, but like he's never going to let this down because he's never going to be able to solve this crime or this disappearance. And it's kind of like fulfilling for him in a way that like until the day that he dies, he's always going to be out there searching and trying to find her. Where like he's like looking around in the ocean and second guessing himself. But it's brought up earlier in the movie where you're at like his apartment in the city or whatever he has, and he's got his board up of like the murders that he hasn't been able to solve. And her character is she's always trying to like help him, or so she says. And I kind of feel like she kind of is in a way, but she's still manipulating him because like when they solve that, he solves that case with the guy that ends up, killing himself and jumping off the roof. And when she comes over to his apartment, she's like, you can get rid of this now. You can, and she starts burning the pictures because she's like, you solved it. You don't need any more of this evidence. And speaking of which, you don't need mine because you solved my case too. And I don't even know if it's a thing in Korea, but it is funny because like she asks him what they do with the evidence. Like, do they destroy the evidence when they come to when they determine a case? And he's like, oh yeah, they definitely destroy all the evidence. And I'm like, that doesn't like the American thing would be that shit's never going away. Like, if it gets destroyed, it gets destroyed in the system because somebody did something stupid. They wouldn't be like, you know what? They came to the verdict, so let's just burn all this shit. Obviously, there's cases he didn't solve all his cases before he left, but yeah, it does have that like haunting vibe that it's just going to, I don't know, kind of keep him going. I'm not gonna say he's hopeful, but he lives for that type of stuff.
Yeah.
So I guess it'd be like kind of a poetic type ending, I guess. And yeah, I guess too, I also like they try to get you on her side a little bit too. Like if she is the person that killed her husband, she was like abused because they like almost instantly like there was that symbol on everything. And I didn't know what it was until he was like, this is the guy's initials. It's like a branding. And then they have pictures of her like underneath where her clothes would be, and she's got all that bruising like on her stomach and stuff, but like in her like you can see that exact mark, like, oh, he fucking branded her. So it does have that whole like, oh, she must have been abused, so she's killed him because she was abused. And I can see that to a degree, but she's also has a history clearly of killing people because she kills her own mother, like you said. She kills that other guy's mother, which like inadvertently kills her new husband. She's lucky she pulled off killing her current husband. I don't even know like even that detective arc where they're like opening up his flask and he pours the whiskey in his hand and he like licks it. And I'm like, what if that was straight up poison, dude? Like you'd be like, what if that's what killed him, you know?
Just taking that chance.
Yeah, he was just like, what the hell? I gotta know what this is. Well, I guess they do have that. I feel like I've seen it more in like cartoons, but like when people will like be like, "Well, that's poison." Like they can instantaneously tell that there's poison in there. But yeah, what I mean, overall, what'd you think of the movie? Did you like the movie?
Yeah. I mean, I've liked all of his movies. I don't think he's made a bad movie. Again, I mean, there's couple that I haven't seen, but And I am excited to see his next one. The trailer for that looked funny. The plot description, because the trailer didn't have much, but I saw it was like based on a book, and the book, it sounds the description of the plot sounds funny, but and I think this is going to be like a black comedy film. Uh, so I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, what was it called again? It's like
No Other Choice.
No Other Choice. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
it's yeah,
what's the plot that you remember? I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. I know I read it and I saw the trailer, but it's like it's something really
like he gets
mundane.
fired. He gets fired at his current job, and then he's trying to get a new job, but there's too many other people that are also applying for the job, so he just starts killing all of the other
Yes.
people that are applying for the job.
Yes. Yeah,
Like,
that's
that's
what
the
it
only way
was.
he can figure out to make sure he gets the job is by killing all the other people that
And
apply.
it's the front man from Squid Game. He's back with that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I recognized this lead actor.
I don't think anybody in this was from, like, nobody in this movie was from all, like, he usually works with a lot of the same cast, but everyone in this one, like, I didn't recognize. Like, these were all new people that I've never seen in any of his previous films.
Yeah, and I believe the woman is Chinese. Like born in China, probably raised in Korea. With, obviously Chinese parents and everything. But yeah, he seemed to go not with his usual crowd of people. But yeah, I loved it. At the end of the day, I just thought that it was like a fun little detective movie that never had clear-cut answers. Not enough that it was like ambiguous as all hell. But like I didn't even think about it until you pointed it out. But when you were like talking about did she mistranslate it or is she interpreting it as this? And I was like, oh, I didn't even think about it the second way. But there are so many scenes in this movie where it's like she could say what she means. She could be lying about what she's saying. And I also thought that you would like it because it definitely had like, maybe not tonally, but it had the Zodiac vibes of Fincher's Zodiac, where he cared, his obsession took him away from his family, like his wife. I mean, it's a much shorter time span, but his wife clearly goes from like, we're gonna make this work to I'm leaving. I don't know who that dude is that like helps her move her shit out. Whether it's just like, hey, who is you were Todd? I don't know. I don't know who this guy is. I'm leaving. You had your chance. Very much Zodiac vibes where it's like, I'm taking the kids and I'm leaving. It's like, Jesus Christ, dude, you're too obsessed with this. Yeah, excited to see what this next movie is. It does sound fun. It sounds funny, like you said.
Yeah.
And we'll be back 2 weeks from now with whatever movie Chuck's picking to connect to this one. See you then. We're Cinema D'Amore. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter to stay up to date with news and information on upcoming episodes. Find us on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Podbean, Spotify, Amazon Music, Audible, Pandora, Alexa, or iHeartRadio. It would be greatly appreciated if you subscribe to our podcast on your platform of choice. We also appreciate feedback, so rate us, review us, and let us know what you think. And above all else, thank you for listening.